Well, tense hours ahead as Donald Trump weighs up what action he might want to take against Iran. What we've seen over the last few weeks as these protests have escalated and as the death toll has increased is increased rhetoric from the US leader, suggesting that he is weighing potentially very strong action against Iran. And on Tuesday, he made new comments on social media telling Iranians to keep protesting. He said, take over your institutions, saying that they should save the names of the killers and abusers. They, Donald Trump said, will pay a big price. He also said in capital letters to the Iranian protesters, help is on the way. And also detailed within that post is the fact that he says he has cancelled all meetings on all levels with any Iranian officials. Now, there had been some thinking that behind the scenes, diplomacy had been underway, in particular between Iran's foreign minister and the U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff. We've also heard that the Vice President, J.D. Vance, has been urging Donald Trump to choose the route of diplomacy rather than military action, to have that as his main priority, to really try and push the leadership in Iran to settle this peacefully. However, we're also told that he is weighing up very strong options when it comes to the potential of action against the Iranian regime. Included within that could be targeted action, either against government officials or military officials in the country. There's the possibility of cyber attacks in some way, shape or form on Iran. Also, potentially some online help for the protesters, the opposition within the country. And then the possibility of new sanctions being placed on Iran. But bear in mind, there are already a whole raft of sanctions that have been placed in preceding years on Iran. We also know, after a surprise announcement, also on social media from Donald Trump, that he will now be placing a 25% tariff on any country that does business with Iran. And part of that is really about trying to cut off the revenue streams that Iran has, hoping, from the US perspective, that countries around the world will drop Iran as a trading partner and suddenly Iran will see those revenue streams dry up. And really, it's all about international pressure, getting those other countries to say that they're no longer willing to be involved with Iran, to put more pressure on the government to desist in its very brutal crackdown on protesters, something that we have seen with increased concern here in Washington over the last few weeks. Nick Harper, SABC News, Washington.